time. I'm going to record this. I'm so excited.
Me too.
So I have a lot of new teams. So some people are fangirling right now, and some people have absolutely no idea, which I love. Like, I love because that means I get to ask you all the questions that I already know the answers to. So, guys, this is Miss Ashley Sinclair. Here, you know what? I'm going to share a little story first. Let me tell you guys something. So let me tell you how I first found out about Miss Ashley Sinclair.
Oh no.
Okay, where my team? Don't. Okay, so some people know because they were there when I first found out about you. So it was 2015. We were at Limelight Conference. Okay.
Okay.
And you were on the white couch.
Yes.
And I forgot, what did you say? Like, you said something about the white couch. And from then on, we always knew it was like, I gotta get on that white couch.
I said, it was something along the lines of, if you want to get on the white couch. It was something about not making excuses, but basically it was something like, who wants to be sitting up here and not in the back row? And people started clapping. And I don't know if we were talking about TV or putting down excuses, but it was something like that.
It was,
you want to get off
the wall, Ashley. Like, I don't even remember what it was, but it was something so bold that I was like, oh, okay, I gotta get on that white couch. she throwing shade high key, and I was like, okay, so I gotta get on this couch and see what this is all about. And I just loved it. Since then, it was like, oh my gosh, always full of personality, always bringing perspective, always bringing life to any given situation. And so I just love you. For those who don't know, she's going to tell her story, but she's a wife. She's a mom of 2 kids. She's a business boss. Like, it's crazy how she's able to operate at the level that she does. And so there's so much that we can learn from her today. And I'm just grateful you decided to take the time to be on here with us today. Yay! All right, so if you just start with...
No,
go ahead.
No, sorry. I think there was a little delay. I was just saying, you are one of my favorites. Ask me to do pretty much anything and I'll be like, okay. I mean, where are we hiding the bodies? Let's go. Like, whatever. Let's do it. I'm down.
I think I remember that. I'll call you next time. Just
next
time. All right. So I want you to just share just a little bit about your background. Since they don't know, like, let's maybe go like 2 years or a year before you started with It Works, what life was like into starting and how you got to know, like, how you even came to It Works.
Sure. So, hey everyone, I'm Ashley. Rachel gives the best intros, such a great hype girl, but I just adore her and her red lipstick, and I'm excited to share with you guys tonight. But about a year or 2 before the business, I thought I was living the American dream. I owned a women's boutique. It was actually a lingerie store. So like, I fit women for bras all day. Like, that's what I did. And I was really proud, of being a business owner, like a true business owner, a real business owner. I started from the ground up at 22, had the idea. And, I've just always been really fortunate in my life to have people around me that are like, go for it, try it. Why not? And there's always such a deep gratitude for that. And something to be said there and something to be learned from all of us to be that for other people. So I've always had people speak life into me. I've always had people say, why not you? Why not try? Why not go for it? And so that confidence kind of got built, from a pretty young age, and had my store. And, I got a message on Facebook from a girl that I met for about 5.5 seconds in junior high. And she sent me a message on Facebook about these fat patches and about how there was all this money that was being made by these ladies up north. And, we needed to give it a shot and see what it was all about. And, I deleted the message. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. I deleted the message, and I honestly just thought, I don't have the time. I don't have the extra money. I don't, and I don't want to be in a pyramid scheme. I just had such a limited knowledge of what, this kind of business was and the money that could be made. And so I didn't give it the time of day, you guys. But about 2 weeks later, without going into all the details, because it's its own 20-minute funny story, but without going into all the details, my basically my in-laws, I happened to mention this message that I got, and my in-laws were like, why not give it a try? I mean, what do you have to lose? You've spent, my mother-in-law, her exact words were, you have spent more money on dumber things. We've spent more money than what it takes to start on a Target shopping trip for stuff you don't need. Like, why not? And they told me that in the 80s, they were offered an opportunity to get in, with some friends, and it was $500 to join. And at the time, that may as well have been $1 million to them. But that couple, their good friends, went on to make millions in a network marketing company. And they said, that's something we kind of always regretted. And so I thought, why not? So I called up Tiffany and I said, hey, let's give this a shot. Let's see what happens. And you guys, that was September of 2011. And the only thing I can describe it as was I knew 9 days into the business that I had my hands on something special. It took 9 days for me to figure out that I was sitting on a gold mine. And it was watching a video that Pam Souter did where she was talking about, the money that could be made at the diamond level and the 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. And I remember my mind, exploding and thinking, really, that's all it's going to take. And then I remember thinking, if other people are doing it, why not me? Because again, I've had people in my life say, why not you? Why not try? That's who I try to be for other people now. Why not you? And that would be my question for you at the end of this whole thing and all through this Zoom is, why not you? There is nothing that I've got that you don't have or that you can't learn or that you can't go out and get. And so I feel like that was sort of really kind of the catalyst for my journey, was hearing someone say that if you get to diamond level, you have a license to print money. And I will never forget that moment of thinking, I'm going to go make $1 million. Like, why not? Why not? If other people can do it, why not me? And so that was sort of my moment. And you guys, literally the rest is kind of history. I just sped through like a little, I don't know what, something that goes fast, like a little hedgehog, a Sonic, I don't know, just moving right through the ranks and had a blast the whole time. And here I am 9 years later, freaking loving this business so much, enjoying it so much, still passionate about it, learning new things, evolving, growing. So yeah, and here we are and getting invited to be on a Zoom with my girl Rachel. So
me, oh my gosh, no, I think it's a honor and a privilege, and there's certain parts of your story, even in the beginning, that I loved how you heard that people were making money. So when you actually heard about people who, like through the grapevine, when you really see people who are really making money, it's like, okay, wait, why not me? Like, why can't I make this kind of money? But let's talk about when you first came in, or let's start here. When you sign someone right now with a not so popping network, and maybe they don't have as much support or people who are just backing them like, hey, you can do this.
right.
How do you help them get their first win? And how do you hold their hand to their first win?
Well, I love that you said hold their hand, because that's exactly it. And if I could go back and tell myself anything, it would be hold hands more with people. I regret so much those beginning years where I didn't understand that people didn't have a warm market, or they would say, well, my mom and my sister and my aunt all said no, and so I guess I'm not going to do this. And I'd be like, okay. I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach to think about it. Because I just didn't know the difference. I thought that everybody had a warm market. And what I realized was, you guys, starting that business at 22 years old, I built from the ground up. I'm not from this town, and it's a big, small town, right? Like, it's very small town feel. So, I mean, I did grassroots marketing for my store. And I always tell people this: for 8 years, I built my network. I built myself up as a business owner in this town. I built myself up as the girl that you can go to make your boobs look better. Like, I mean, as silly as that sounds, like, I mean, that's who I became known as. I was like this young entrepreneur in town. And so when I said I'm doing this, people went, that sounds kind of weird, but you also fit bras for a living, which is also kind of weird. So, hey, we'll give it a try, right? I never want to take that part for granted. So that being said, now, if someone doesn't have when I start somebody out, first of all, the main thing I want them to know is that we're friends. And you guys, I've got a lot of people that I meet through TikTok. I got a lot of people that I'm meeting through Instagram and through Facebook and host to post that I don't know them. I don't have a connection. So that's one negative thing, is that like my warm market is either part of my business or has said no to my business and they're not joining. And so I've had to keep building that network, just like you're going to have to do. And I think that's the mindset that I try to put my new distributors in from the very beginning. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to those people, your friends and family, those 6 closest people to you. But here's the thing. If for some reason they're not on board, and they may not be, there's a 50-50 shot that those people will not be on board. If that's the case, just know I got you. And that's my very first message with them. Hey, they may all laugh at you. They may all say, what the heck are you doing? They may all go, are you kidding me? You're doing another one of those things. That's all right. I got you. I mean, that is in my message to them. I got you. We are in this together. I am going to show you how to build your network, just like I had to build my network, but you have to promise me you're going to give me a little bit of time. And it sets them up from the very beginning, I think, with 2 things. Number one, they know they're not alone, because joining a business like this is weird and scary. Most of us have no clue what we're doing. I mean, I know I was a business owner, but you guys, that is a completely separate business, a brick and mortar store, than what we do. Okay. And so I want them to know, number one, that you're not alone. And I want them to know, number two, I told you when you join me, I'm going to coach you. That means I'm going to coach you to grow your network. But if you're not willing to take the time to grow your network with me, this isn't the business for you. Because at the end of the day, it's network marketing. And you either come in with a network, or we're going to build your network once you're already in. But one way or the other, a network has to be in place, because it's called network marketing. And I think setting that expectation up from the very beginning has been part of the success over the last few years of kind of launching those new DTs in a way that maybe I didn't before. I only knew how to teach warm market before. I only knew how to teach, say this to your mom, say this to your sister. And if they said, well, they said no, I would be like, well, crap, I don't know what we're going to do. Because we didn't have host to post, and we didn't have the referral system set up in place at the time. And so that's been a thing that's been different. So I think those are 2 key things, you guys, especially as we are building our network and maybe not signing up. Those of you that have been in a while, you're not signing up friends and family. Like, your next loyal customer is coming from a referral or a host to post, or maybe a stranger, right? So connecting from the very beginning. Number one, I got you. And you guys, fake it till you make it. You may go, but Ashley, I'm brand new. But fake it with them and tell them, I got you. We're going to figure this out. I think about those first ETs that I brought on, Rach, and it was like, those very first ETs, they would go, well, what is this? I don't know. Well, what's a PBV? No clue. Well, what about this? Don't know. We're going to figure it out together. I think just having that excitement and that passion and that, like, I don't know, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to find the answer together. We will figure this out together is huge. That's such a key component to this business in building a network and in building trust with people. So those are really like the 2 key things. You guys, all the rest of the info is out there, all the scripts, we get so hung up on all that crap and exactly what to say. And we miss the 2 key components, which is, I got you. We're going to do this together. And hey, whether you have a network or whether we build your network, we're going to get a network, and we're going to figure out together how to make your network say yes. You ready? Let's do this. And I let them know it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a process. I'm in this 9 years. Do not expect to come in this in 9 days and blow up, right? We're going to have to walk through this together. So that's my kind of beginning, I think, with people.
It is so good. Like, that was so good. Number one, I got you. Number two, whether you have a network or not, we're going to figure it out together. And I love that. It's really just about being down together. Like, just knowing that, I mean, I got you. You just got to have me. And having me is just being willing to be there and be led. And I think that's just so important. I think we have a lot of mixture of people on here, from newbies to people who have been veterans, been in for a while. But if you could speak to a new distributor right now and let them know how encouraging, I know at one point I said, like, when you show up, it encourages your upline. Like, you have no idea, like, your willingness to learn, to show up, to grow, it actually encourages the person who brought you on. And so if you could just give them in this moment, just an encouraging word about showing up and asking questions and giving their best and being okay with not knowing everything. Like,
Yeah.
what tip would you give towards that?
Okay, so first of all, yes, amazing question. Let's start here. The very first thing that I would share to a brand new person is if you have been in for less than, let's say 3 months, I want you to go to your phone. We've all got them. I'm allowing you to connect to your device. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Do this anyway. I don't care how long you've been in. Rachel, you can do this too, right? You can set it to message me if you want. I don't care. But we are going to set an alarm for a time that works for you. And I want you to set a daily alarm. And it's just going to say, check in. All right. Now, checking in with your sponsor, here's what it's going to do. Number one, it is going to fuel and fire up your sponsor, because hearing from my team does not drain me. Getting updates from my team does not drain me. It sparks my fire. It lets me know things are happening, things are moving. The worst message you can send is, and I don't know why we send this, ladies. I don't know if there's any men on here, but I'm going to talk to the ladies. We do this all the time. I'm so sorry to bother you. Stop. You are not bothered. How many of you do it? Y'all are laughing. Some of y'all threw your whole head back because you know, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I have a question. Like, you've got to be kidding me. It is the thing that we want most. So how many of you on here, I can see most of your faces. I have you on gallery view. How many of you raise your hand if you have a distributor on your team? Will you raise your hand if you have signed up a distributor? Okay, that's a lot of hands. All right. So those of you that raised your hand and you have a distributor, has it ever once bothered you to have a distributor message you and say, hey girl, I have a question for you. I'm talking to somebody right now and I don't know what to say. Or, hey, I just wanted to check in really quick and let you know this is what I'm working on. Hey, I just wanted you to know I just listened to this amazing Zoom, or I learned this new thing and I'm so excited. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say this. This is who I'm talking to next. Has that ever bothered you? No. So then here's the thing. If what we want to see out of our distributors, if we want to see certain things out of our distributors, I've learned that I have to model them. I have to do them, right? I want to put out into the universe what I want back. So if I want interaction with my team, if I want excitement, then you better believe Cammie's getting messages, Pam's getting messages, Mark's getting messages, my sponsor Tiffany's getting this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm working on. You guys, 9 years in the business and I am still letting people know, hey, this really worked. I'm so excited. Hey, I'm in a boom Zoom with a couple of my girls that are just like, I signed a loyal today because I need to be hyped that I got my 8 millionth loyal. I don't know, it's not 8 million, but you know what I'm saying. So if you are brand new, and even if you're not, I'm just going to encourage you, if you've been in the business for a while, even once a week, twice a week, just check in. Hey, I'm just checking in. Here's what I'm working on today. Here's what's going well. Here's something I could use some prayer on, or something that I'm really kind of struggling with. Because the thing is that at the beginning, the main thing that you will fight is the need to know everything first. I'm walking through this with a girl right now that's a paralegal, and you guys, she is seeing such success. I found her she found me on TikTok. And so we don't know each other from Adam, but I love this girl. And the reason why I love her is because she keeps saying, okay, I'm going to trust you. Okay, hasn't tried a product yet. Hasn't even gotten her samples in the mail yet. She sent them all out to other people. You guys, but she's trusting me. She's going, okay, I've never tried this, but I'm going to trust you. I've never done this before, but I'm going to trust you. And that came from going, hey, lock hands, let's go. I got you. You're going. And I saw very early on that she had the type of personality that had to know everything first. And I said, look, this is going to trip you up. You're going to get in a rut. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get impatient. I need you to trust me, because if we don't get those quick wins, quick, emphasis being on quick, I'm afraid you're gonna tap out. So let's get you some of those quick wins, and here's how I know to do it. Are you ready? I want you to send this message. Are you ready? I want you to post this. Are you ready? I want you to say this, do this. And as she's trusted me, you guys, she's gotten 2 distributors and like 9 loyal customers in the last 2 weeks. And it's just been so refreshing as her upline to get that text message. Hey, just want you to know what I'm working on today. So that'd be the main thing, is what you want in your own business, you've got to put out. Do not ask something of your distributors that you are not willing to do yourself. It's not fair, and it makes us a hypocrite, and that's not the kind of leader we want to be. The kind of leader I want to follow is someone that's authentic, that shares the good, that shares the bad, but more than anything, does what they say they're going to do. That's the kind of leader I want to be. Those are the people that I like to follow. So that's the kind of leader I want to be. So think about that first. Those of you that are just getting started, that's my encouragement to you, is number one, you don't have to know it all, but you've got to stick close with your sponsor. And you may go, well, Ashley, but my sponsor's not doing anything, or she works 2 jobs, or well, you know what? Then send her an encouragement and then go to the person above her. Nobody ever said that there's this perfect hierarchy, and anybody that does is stuck in a weird leadership rut. I've been there before. Give them some grace, because I was there too, of like, layered leadership. No, just reach out, just message somebody wants to help you, let them help you. So there you go. I'm off that spiel. My upper lip is getting sweaty. I'm clearly passionate about this topic.
It's okay, black. You know what I'm saying? When my bishop, when he preaching, he gotta go get a whole towel because it's whole.
Ooh, I should have brought a passion towel. I need a passion towel.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is good. So I'm just gonna go with the flow here. So now let's talk to the distributor that has been here for a while. Okay, somebody who's been here for a while. How do you coach them? And it's so crazy. I'm gonna give this to everybody because we just had our leadership retreat, and it was just like, it was so crazy, but everybody didn't get it. So I want to ask you, how would you coach someone who is, I want to say fearful, because I believe that it's fear, but they have all these things that are, I guess they're telling themselves, which is blocking them from truly getting in a Lamborghini and driving. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm sorry, it's my internet. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Listen, I have janky internet. I promise you, I pay my bill. I be telling people, but sometimes I don't know. So, like, how do you get them? What would you tell me? Like, I'm on your team, and I've been here for a while. I have potential to be number one, but potential means nothing if it's not used. Right. So what would you tell me? Because I'm telling you, I want it. Like, Ashley, I want to be number one. I want to be a number one, but what would you tell me?
Well, I would start here, and because I've had to go through this multiple times with myself. If I'm being really honest, about once a year, I go through the, can I really do this moment, probably once a year. And it's not so much, can I do this? Because I guess technically I've done it as far as going ambassador. But more of a, can I keep doing this? And I don't even want to say the lie out loud because I've worked so hard to pull it out at the root, but I know that lie that like spun itself all around my head for years about, my best days are behind me, that I don't know why. But a couple of things have helped me. And so I'll just list a few of those things because this has happened to me personally. The very first thing is listing out the lies. I don't know what else to do except to get them out. Right? Seeing them on paper, writing them out and going, wow, that is deep. That is tough. That is not true. So that's the first thing that I do. And I've done this multiple times throughout my business. I will write down the lies, almost like a stream of consciousness. Pam taught me this many years ago. When I'm journaling, like I know how to journal affirmations. I know how to journal seeing things the way I want them to be. But I also know at times I've just got to write. So it may be, I am scared of XYZ. I am nervous about blah, blah, blah. I don't like that the company did this and I don't like that. And she did this and I'm worried about so-and-so over here, whatever it might be. And I let it all out and I get really honest with myself. And then going through each of those things line by line and saying, the very first thing that I do is I have 2 daughters and I imagine my 2 daughters saying those things. And y'all, like that alone right there my daughters ever believing that they're not enough, my daughters ever believing that their best days are behind them, my daughters ever believing that they can't do something, that alone right there kind of gets me fired up, thinking, okay, I know how I feel as a parent. I can just imagine how God is feeling as I'm struggling through this and just wanting to wrap me up and go, no, no, girl, no, that is such a lie, right? And so that's the very first thing I would encourage you to do, is get it out. From there, now do this personally. You don't need to put this off on anybody else, and not at first, right? Do this personally. This is some deep personal work that you're going to have to do, because here's the problem, is that then out to the side, I will make myself kind of write the root of it. And this is where it gets a little bit uncomfortable, because a lot of it, I have great parents now, but maybe they maybe they had to practice some of the bad stuff, get that out on me. So like, I have good parents now, but maybe things weren't as great growing up with some things that I heard and was told. And so some of that is from parents. Some of it is just from feeling unworthy. Some of it is just lies straight from Satan himself. Some of it is from comparison. Some of it is from watching other people do things that I wish I could do, and then making excuses for why I think I can't do them, even though I'm watching somebody else do it right in front of me. And so getting kind of to the root of some of that, again, is huge. And then going, okay, is this truth? And you guys, it's not 99% of that stuff that I've said. It's like, it's not truth. And so what I have asked God to help me do is protect my mind from those things, that as they begin to take hold in my mind. I've talked about this before, but I have this like physical representation. And this is something that I do, which it makes me feel silly every time I do it, but I do it every time. But I call it my crab claw. And I will imagine myself grabbing that thought. So maybe the thought is in my mind, I can't do this again. Or I open up my paycheck and I go, I'm never going to see that paycheck that I saw in whatever year. Right. And I will go, yep. I mean, just like this, but I will make myself physically grab that thought and hold it out and go, is this the truth? Absolutely not. And then it's like this, you've got to fling it. And I know that sounds really cheesy. And some of you are like, oh yeah, that's going to do the trick. I haven't found anything else that works as well for me than that. Then getting it out and going, okay, fine, I'm believing some lies. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's dig in. I think so many people are afraid to look at themselves in the mirror and to go, wow, there is work that needs to be done. There is progress that needs to be made. God is really wanting to teach me something here. And that's tough work. I know what I do to avoid. I take hot baths and turn on Netflix to avoid it. I'll have a long conversation with a friend to avoid it. I'll go take a trip and or go buy something shiny. It's usually from the dollar store because I'm super cheap. But I will do something like that to avoid doing the hard work and to kind of push it down. And some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of y'all are brand new and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but you told me to talk to the people that have been in a while. And so some of you've got to start doing that hard work on yourself. And it doesn't take a therapist, and it doesn't take thousands of dollars to uncover all of this stuff, you guys. It just takes a pen and a paper and going, why? Why do I believe this? All right, let's dig deep. Let's figure this out. And then the other cool thing is that, and I don't know if you're a believer or not, I hope that you are. But the only way that I have been able to figure out how to start removing those lies is to be in the Word. And when I'm not in God's Word, guess what? Those lies, they hit me from all angles. But I can spot them so much easier whenever I'm in the Word. I can spot them so much easier whenever I know that it's in direct opposition to what God says, right? Like if somebody came up to you and said, hey, Rachel, the sky's orange. And let's just say it's midday. It's not orange, right? Sky's orange. And you're like, well, no, it's not. It's blue. No, it's orange. No, it's not. It's blue. I know it's blue. I'm sitting here looking at it. It's blue. No, it's orange, right? The more, if you're outside looking up at the sky and you can see it for yourself and you are way less likely to believe that versus let's say you've been sitting in your house all day with all the shades drawn and you haven't had anybody speaking life into you and you haven't had the shades pulled and someone says, hey, the sky's orange. No, it's not. But you guys, I'm telling you, our minds are so weird that there would come a point that some of you would begin to go, maybe it is orange. I always thought it was blue. Am I colorblind? Am I wrong? Do you see what I'm saying? And we've got to be so careful about letting those things happen in our mind with the silliest stuff like, you can't do this. She's always going to be better than you are at this. Your best days are behind you. Our family's always going to struggle. That's who we are. All those things that we say that we believe that are such crap and such garbage and in such direct opposition to what God says about us. Those are the things we've got to begin to take root and let go of. So
that is so good. Get your towel. I'm trying to tell you.
I need it.
I need the towel. Just get your towel. Have it right there on the desk. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Get you.
Oh, good.
Let it dry. Okay. All right, next question. How do you continually create what we call on this squad and then what? Hashtag and then what? How do you keep creating a new and then what? Because you know you do something or something, you accomplish something, and then you have to have the and then what almost before you accomplish it, right? Because if not, you're sitting there after you accomplished it like, no, that would be nice, but I don't know that I need that. Like, you have no idea why you're doing what you're doing anymore. So in this business, the way it's set up is it's going to bless you with exceedingly and abundantly. Like, it's going to happen. You stick around long enough, you're consistent long enough, you're going to reach the exceedingly and abundantly in whatever area of your life. So how do you continuously have that and then what before yourself?
Oh, it's so good. This is another one. You're asking me questions that I struggle with. So what I should do is send you a list of questions of things I'm good at. So maybe you won't ask me the things I struggle with, but I believe God uses it all. And so here is what he has taught me about this. I got really comfortable for a long time. You guys, when your goal is to make $1,000, $2,000 a month, and then you start making your husband's yearly salary in 1 month, and you grew up like a poor preacher's kid, it does stuff to your mind. It makes you begin to think weird things like, I don't deserve this. Okay. I was taught my whole life, like, if you love Jesus, you're poor, right? Like, but essentially, people that love Jesus are poor. You give it all away, right? The problem is we're always poor, but it was like I never had any money to put in the offering plate, right? Or just had barely anything. And so I've kind of had to overcome a little bit of that mindset. But the first thing that I would tell you to do is, you guys, we preach self-development. And I remember at the very beginning, Mark saying how important self-development was, and growing your mind and expanding your mind and being like, are you kidding me? I'm just out here hustling. And you guys, here's the deal is that I was in the hustle mentality for so long and got so burned out and so exhausted because I was just working from a place of you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you figure it out, and you just go and do it, right? I did not know how to expand my mind past hustling into a growth mindset, into an abundance mindset. Does that make sense? There is a very big difference between you hustle, and you have to have some of that. Don't get me wrong, that hustle and that grit, but I didn't have the other key component to true success, to true wealth, which is growth, right? Having an abundant and a growth mindset. And so the number one thing I can encourage you with, especially if you're brand new, is feed your mind in the same way that you feed your body, in the same way that you do the things necessary to get through your day. Make self-development such a non-negotiable part of your life. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 5 hours, whatever it is, you guys, make your growth a priority. While other people are scrolling, while other people are out doing stuff that's not going to make them any money, you have the opportunity to read, to listen, to learn, to be on things like this. I don't know everything, but I know some things. Like, let me share the some things with you, right? And so the fact that you're even on here and wanting to grow and learn, these are the things that will build you, because these are lessons that are going to start laying a foundation for a growth and a what's next mindset. So that's the very first thing, is growth and development. If I could go back, oh my gosh, I would have started this so much sooner. I think of all the lessons I could have saved myself, that I could have learned from other people. There's this quote, and I always butcher it, but it's something along the lines of like, the mark of a truly intelligent person is one that doesn't have to make his own mistakes, but can learn from the mistakes of others. And I'm always the one that's got to be like off in the bar ditch, like in a wreck, making my own mistake. And I'm learning, being almost 40 now, I'm finally learning, wait a minute, why don't I learn from the bar ditch? Okay. And take the lessons that other people that been there, done that, and learn from them. You can learn so much more, so much faster. So that's the very first thing. And then I'll get off the self-development soapbox there, but that's the number one thing. The second thing is constantly putting out in front of yourself, not just material things, but the kind of person that you want to be. So I know for me, when I first started, you guys, the amount of money that I wanted, the things I wanted were simple, right? It was simple, the stuff that I wanted, and being debt free, and, owning our home, and giving back. You guys, I now at this point, having like marked off so much off of my dream board, right? And I continue to do dream boards, and I continue to put out there in front of me the things that I want. But now growth for me looks like, okay, I've achieved this success. How dare I hold on to it and not give it to someone else, right? So at this point, you have to realize too, you're not just working for yourself, but you are working for potential future generations. I just think about like Tiffany sending me that message. I don't know what my life would be like had someone not had the courage to do that, to share that gift with me. And so I think about that every single time I'm sharing this business or sharing these products or anything like that. And it keeps me from holding back, and it keeps me from getting in my head and going, well, they might think this, or they might think, who cares? I know what this has done for me, and I want it to bless others. And so I think when it's not just about you, and it becomes also about what you can do for others, then it's not easy. I mean, then it's not difficult, and it's very easy to always go, there's more that can be done. Because it's like, I've asked Mark that question. I asked Mark that question in Costa Rica in December. Rachel, I don't know if I told you this or if you heard this on, I don't know, I talked about it somewhere, but I asked him in December, what freaking keeps you going? Owning an island, having this mansion, like having a plane, like all these things that I've got on my dream. I don't have an island on my dream board, but like all these things that I've got on my dream board, like you've knocked all of them off. Like, what keeps you going? What keeps you hungry? And the dude got tears in his eyes, and he goes, all of you. I want this for all of you. You guys, that's who we're working for. That's our CEO. That's our dude that's like coaching us through all of this, is the guy that's going, yeah, God's blessed me immensely, and I have so much more than what I could ever need or want, but I've still got people worrying how they're going to pay their next bill. I have still got moms that are crying at night, not knowing where the money for formula is going to come from. I have still got moms that are about to be evicted. I have still got families that are literally living every $5 to every $5. And until that stops, then my job's not done. And when he said that, I'm telling you, that vision and that expanded my mind probably more than anything else I've ever heard the man say, simply because that quote, "It's not just about me," rings in my head all the time. It is not just about me. And you guys, it's not just about you. It's not just about you paying your bills, but what if you get to help your mom pay her bills? I remember him saying this like one time from stage. I think it was 2015, Rachel. That was that. I have that memory of him saying that, like, yes, being debt free is a whole nother level, or like paying off your house is a whole nother level, but paying off your mom's house is like, that's the kind of thing that you've got to be dreaming for and reaching for right now. I know some of you are listening and you're going island and plane and whatever and giving back. Like, I literally need $50 by Friday to pay the electric bill. And my heart is like crushed thinking about that. But you are on this Zoom for a reason. You are listening for a reason. And if you can begin to grow through that mentality of, if I could just get enough, into what if I have so much that I'm able to bless everybody around me too, you guys, that's where the magic will begin to happen. That's where you begin to work from a place where, yeah, let's go get in the Lamborghini, right? And I don't want a Lamborghini. I feel bad. I have a Denali and I drive it and I feel like so bougie in it. Like, I don't even know what to do with myself and my Denali and my, dollar store accessories that are all in it. But that right there is what keeps me dreaming, is knowing that there are people on my team that have not experienced all that there is to experience in this business. And so that would be my encouragement for you, is number one, grow through it, continue to read, continue to self-develop. And number two, start asking God, what's next? What do you want from me next? What's the next big mountain to climb? Because that's how he created us. That's why you feel weird sitting on top of your $500 a month and you only wanted 300, but now you got 500. That's why something's unsettled. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't feel right. Even when you open those checks that are more than what you ever thought you would have, it's because he's trying to take you up the next mountain. And you're like, I'm real good in the valley. I'm just going to hang right here. It's comfortable. I already came off a mountain. I'm all set. But that's the deal, is God wants to take you. He talks about this like from glory to glory. Like he wants to keep going. You're supposed to conquer. He's setting these things out in front of you to teach you something, and then to take other people along the way with you. And how freaking selfish of us to sit and be comfortable in the valley when he's got a whole other mountain ready for you to go up. And so that's kind of what keeps me going. And that's what I've had to grow through and learn. And I haven't always been this passionate about it, but now that I know, I'm going to do better. Now that I know, I will never go back to like, I'm all good, making my money, making my tens of thousands. I'm hanging. No, there's hundreds of thousands. There's millions that need to be made. Because if I'm doing that, then what does that mean for my team? So, okay.
That's amazing. And I'm actually going to ask another question. I actually was talking to the young lady last night. And what she said to me was, she just wanted me to offer some perspective, not even on my team. And she was like, I'm good, but my team, like, I don't want to stop because I don't want them to not, like, they're not okay, they're losing rank or whatever, right? And so we talked a little longer, and come to find out, she's really not good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, baby, you're not debt free.
Yeah.
You don't have exceedingly and abundantly. You get by, but you're not good. And so talk to the person who's like, well, I'm okay. Like I'm okay, but I'm not exceedingly and abundantly. I don't have $10,000 in the bank account, but do I really need $10,000 in the bank account? Like trying to talk themselves out of God's glory, right? So talk to that person who's like, I mean, I pay my bills and I don't really need it, but my team needs it.
Well, I mean, I feel like the exact same perspective that I just shared would be the answer to that question. Like, there is another mountain for you to climb. And I feel like it's laziness. I feel like some of it's selfishness. I feel like some of it is just content, but not content in the way God wants us to be content. Content, not like a peaceful content, but like, I'm content, I'm good, I'm okay. And I just think about the fact that is not what God calls us to. He didn't call us to an okay life. He called us to exceedingly more than we could ever ask or imagine. Because here's the deal. When that happens, you guys, guess who gets the glory? It's not us. It's not us. When the magic happens, guess who gets the glory? It's him. He's the one that gets it. And so if you've already been up and down 15 mountains and then you're going up number 16, guess who's getting the glory for that next mountain? It gets to be him, which is why I choose not to stay safe. I choose not to just play it safe, because you guys, I'll be real honest. I mean, like, you're talking about I'm good. No, I really am good. Like, million in the bank. Good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm more than I could ever have ever dreamed or wanted for my little old self. But it's not about that. At this point, forget the money. There is growth. There are lessons to be learned. And that's what I always think. I know what I learned on my way up to 3 and 4 million. Well, what's he going to teach me on the way to 5 million? For you, it may be like, I got my first 1,000. What's the lesson I've got to learn to get that second 1,000, that fifth 1,000, that 5-figure check, whatever it is? It's all zeros. Here's the deal. It's all zeros. It's all commas and zeros, right? But they represent something for you. And for some of you, you are really comfortable making $500 a month. That's safe. That's good. Nobody's going to judge you. You don't have to worry about taxes very much, right? Like, you're not in a new tax bracket. And some of you will hold yourself back there because that's what makes you not sweat. And here's the deal. I would rather feel alive every freaking day. I would rather pay 39% of my income in taxes. I would rather do all of that and be uncomfortable and slide in at the end of life and God go, well done, good and faithful servant, because I gave you all this, and look what you gave back to other people. And that parable, there is no parable in the Bible that haunts me the way that the parable of the talents haunts me. It and I use the word haunts. It gets me. It makes me scared because I never want to be that person that God gave something to. And I know he's coming back and he's going to hold me accountable, because it says in the Bible, you have to be accountable for what he gave you, whether it's a little or a lot. So I don't want to be accountable for this right here. And no, I went in the backyard and buried it and said, well, God, I was too afraid I was going to lose it. And I was too scared that I was going to lose it. So I just buried it back here. Aren't you proud of me? And he's going to go, no, it says in the Bible. He's like, no, that you're missing the point. The point was to risk. The point was to try. The point was to go and do and climb the mountain. And so I feel like those of us that have been in, and I've been in that place, I just want to put my arm around you if you're in that place, because I've been there. I'm not preaching. I'm preaching to my old self, because I've walked through this, of being okay. I'm okay. I'm doing fine. And there is so much more. And that is a lie that Satan is very slowly and craftily wrapped around you. And so you've got to take the time to begin to unravel that. No, there is so much more. And that's what you fight with every day. No, exceedingly more than all we could ever ask or imagine. No, I don't want to be the person that buries my talents. And so that's what I would ask you. Like, well, does that mean that you have taken what God's given you and you buried it in the backyard and you're just waiting around and then going to go, look, I didn't lose it. I didn't lose what you gave me. Here it is. Aren't you proud of me? No, I asked you to do something with it. That's what he's going to say. I wanted you to do something with it. I gave you all these gifts. I gave you social media. I gave you women that for free will pour into you and love you and pray for you. I gave you these teams. I gave you this amazing product and this great coach and all these people. I gave you all of this. What did you do with it? Oh, you sat on it. Oh, you just were okay with it while other people struggled. Like, no, that's one of my biggest fears, Rachel. Like, that's truly, if I'm up at night at all, it's am I giving my best? Am I continuing to fight, or am I just like hanging loose in the valley? And that's just not who I want to be. I'd rather literally die falling off of the mountain. I would rather fall flat on my face, sliding off the side of a mountain like a goat, like a mountain goat. I'm just imagining one just sliding down. I would rather be doing that than I would be hanging real chill, all beautiful in the valley. That's not who I want to be. So I'm a goat. Now I'm a goat. I don't know where these things come from. I'm a mountain goat. Somebody's going to watch this recording and I want you to know that I know how dumb I sound talking about being a goat sliding. So I just want to say,
goat hanging bad.
Up my nose. It went up my nose. Oh, my word. Oh, I'm ready. Okay. All right, coach, I'm ready.
Sorry. Okay, that was too much. All right.
That's so
okay,
good.
I got just 2 more questions. Number 1.
Okay. I'll be fast.
How do you create daily, weekly, and monthly goals? How do you create them? And I know this is going to be tailored to a person because everybody has something different that makes people tick, but what makes Ashley Sinclair tick?
I have done a version, I think all of us have, of like a 6 list, a KPI, call it whatever you want. But for me, it's kind of regulating my days and knowing, because at this season of my life, it looks very different than when I began. And so I try to keep that in mind and honor that. My Tuesday, Thursdays are just very different schedule. They are a very different schedule because we go to a hybrid homeschool. So my girls go to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday with their class and their teacher. And then the teacher sends home all the work and we homeschool Tuesday, Thursdays. And there's accountability. All that has to be turned back in and graded. I'm drowning. I'm drowning from the water that went up my nose. Bad. And so Tuesday, Thursdays are more of my reactive day. I call those my react days. I react to what comes in, but I don't expect to put a lot out. So because of that, my Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, when my girls are at school, I'm doubled down to basically catch up on that Tuesday, Thursday work, if that makes any sense. So Monday, you know, some people may say, well, I'm going to get up 5 host to post on Monday. No, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm working to get up 10 to 15 host to post because I know I'm more than likely not going to get any up on Tuesday or Thursday. I put makeup on right before this for you because I knew you'd be looking beautiful and I am not naturally adorable, but I mean, I'm in sweats and no makeup and my hair in a ponytail all day long. So I don't really I'm not really creating content, putting stuff out. I'm more just reacting to the work that I've done that's coming in from the rest of my week. So that's something that I used to feel guilty about. I have let that go. I have had to say, wait a minute, this amazing life that gives me freedom of time allows me to do something really cool with my girls and be a part of their life in a way that some people can't be on Tuesday, Thursdays. And I get that time and I'm going to be intentional. And so my phone is typically down. And again, when I pick it up, I only react. I don't worry about putting things out and creating. And because of that, I feel like I am so much more productive the other days of the week. And so I tell you that to tell you this. You know your schedule. I could tell you all day, this is what works, this is what works. But if that doesn't work for you, then what's the point, right? You have got to find your thing. What I do know is that host to post works. What I do know is that following up works. What I do know is that asking people to look at your business works. What I do know is that posting and stories and all of those things, all of that works. It is what we are doing to build our business right now. Now, whether you do all of it on a Monday, whether you do some of it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I don't care. That's where I think people get hung up. Everybody thinks that they've got to have, if I don't do all of these things every single day, then I am missing out or losing, or no. Again, that's another lie, just a crafty little lie to wrap you up into thinking that you're not doing enough. So here's my suggestion for you. Take that KPI list, the 6 list, whatever tracker. There's a million different trackers you can pick. They all say the same thing on them. Get up, post to post, do your posting, do your stories, ask people, follow up with people. All of the things say the same things on them. You find the one that works for you and then stick with it. That's the key. The missing link is not that you don't know what to do. It's that you will get so wrapped up in how to do it or what to do or which tracker to use that then you end up not doing anything. That's the issue. Get your discipline down, because here's what I found. You guys, discipline creates more discipline. Okay. Discipline creates confidence. Showing up for yourself builds confidence and changes that feeling from like, I never followed through with anything to, I said I was going to do X, Y, Z. And guess what? I did X, Y, Z, and I did a little bit of A. That is what builds confidence. That's what's going to make you excited to work your business, right? So whatever method you're using, who freaking cares? Nobody cares what method you're using. Find the thing that works for you. The key is finding the thing. The key is that you don't just make lists all day, but you check things off the list all day. That's the goal, right? So my other key to that is whatever you think you can do, I promise you can do a little bit more. So if you're in that season where things aren't clicking quite like you want, I'm not going to talk to the person that needs balance, because most of us don't struggle with balance as much as we struggle with just getting distracted and jacking around with things that don't make us money. When I realized that my income is directly proportionate to the actions that I'm doing that are income producing, guess what? I started focusing on way more income producing activities and way less on the secondary things. My desk is a mess. I don't care anymore. I can live in the clutter. Some people can't. I can live in the clutter. It does not bother me. And I would rather spend that 10 minutes getting stuff done, right? Some people, they cannot work without a clean desk. That's fine. Do whatever it is that you need to do. The point is that is not that you have a lack of knowledge or lack of what to do. It's that you have a lack of discipline to actually do it. It's that you will make a million excuses for why you can't do the KPI or why you whatever, but then you will literally post, I just finished this 7th season of whatever on Netflix. Who's got a suggestion for me? If one more flipping person on my team asks for a Netflix suggestion, I literally might bat my way down a mountain. Okay, I'm gonna be so mad because those are the same people that are like, I just don't have the time. Like, I don't have any time. Like, there is no time. I'm just like so busy. Again, more of us need a big, fat, full-length mirror right in front of us. We need a mirror in front of us and to go, no, I'm not busy. I'm lazy. No, I'm not busy. I just make other things a priority. No, I'm not busy. I would just rather scroll TikTok and avoid the work that needs to be done, right? Those are the things that I wish we would get more real with about ourselves, that we could look in the mirror and go, I am not the person that I want to be. Why? Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's, if you can quote, you guys, here's the deal. This is coming from the girl that has watched The Office 10 different times all the way through. Okay. If I can quote The Office, but I can't quote the Bible, if I can quote The Office, but then I'm going to tell you, like, I'm just so busy and overwhelmed all the time. Like, at a certain point, you're going to stop believing me, right? So you've got to really look at your day, what it looks like, find those pockets of time, because even the busiest people, they will make this work. They will make this business work. And I always tell people, someone with 10 more excuses than you have is 10 times more successful than you are, because they choose not to look at those as excuses. So there you go. I'm off that soapbox too. Sorry.
Period.
I don't know I don't even know what the question was. I think I answered it.
You did the period. Period. Do it like that. Like, just, like, period. Yeah, girl. Just period.
And it has a T on the end, right?
Yes. Period.
It's spelled with a T. I do know this. I know some stuff. My heart is half chocolate. Y'all don't know this about me, but I was born half chocolate. So this is just who I am. It's on the inside.
Really teaching us, because I'm 30. So Travia is 20 inches. She said you gotta okay. Anyways, let's move on. All right. Last thing. What does your day look like? Well, you already told us.
I did. Y'all, it's full of post to post and follow up and connecting with as many people as possible. It's full of looking at my KPI and my to-do list and getting as many check marks as I can. It's full of, and I'll tell you the one other tip I wanted to make sure I shared, that because I feel like it's been the game changer for me over the last probably year, since I went to Tony Robbins last year, has been taking 5 minutes at night. Well, I got 2 tips for you. I'm sorry. Because these are the things that literally have changed. When I say something's changed my life, I know I can be a little extra and dramatic, but like, these literally have changed my life. Number 1, I don't sleep with my phone by my bed. It has to go in the other room. Put your phone not by your bed. Okay. First of all, just for sleep. I have so much more energy than I have ever had before. And it's not just because of Skinny Brew. It's because I don't feel the pull of the phone at night. Some people take a Sabbath. I get it. That's kind of like, that's part of what I do to honor God. Like in my marriage, it's time to turn the phone off. Okay. Because here's the deal. In this business, you'll find there is always more that can be done. And you will feel like you're never successful, because you get back on your phone and there's 15 more things you could do. There's always somebody else to follow. There's always somebody else to ask. There's always somebody else to talk to. And so there has to come a point for you to enjoy this business for the long term that you go, breath, Selah, right? Rest. Let's take a breath. And so that is the number 1 thing that has helped tremendously. And then the second thing is, oh my gosh, I talked about Tony Robbins. What did I say? Man,
Brittany real good at this. What she say, Brittany? 2 things that change your life. 2 things that change your life. You went to Tony Robbins. You had to tell us.
Oh, I got it. I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay. So the second thing is reflection. So right by my bed, you guys, it's maybe 5 minutes, but essentially it's my work that I'm setting up for the next day. And it is a quick reflection. And it looks like this. It says marriage, it says business. And I kind of give myself like a little score. What went well today? What am I proud of today? The things that are important to me that I want to make sure I did. It's a quick little like, yep, I did it. And then I'll scroll back through my phone and I'll write down any conversations that happen, right? I will write down, hey, this conversation happened, or this person I talked to about hair, skin, and nails, because I don't know about y'all. I can go to bed and then the next morning be like, what did I do yesterday? I don't even remember. Like, I'm always doing that. So taking that reflection and taking those 5 minutes to go, what did today look like and how can I improve tomorrow? Because maybe I was an amazing wife today, but dang, if I did not drop the ball in the parenting department, or maybe I was an awesome mom today, but I really neglected my husband and wasn't kind, or maybe I was great at my business, but my family suffered, right? So these are all things that I want to make sure, because those are the things that are important to me. At the end of my life, those are the things I'm going to be held accountable for. I want to make sure that I'm treasuring those things and doing them right. So that's been huge for me. So just a very simple, you guys, it's nothing big. Rachel, I can shoot you a picture you can share with your team. My team's seen mine. It's just the quickest little reflection for the end of the night. And I would encourage you to make one, because yours is going to look different than mine. But just going through and going, yeah, because here's the deal. I know I'm accountable to myself at night. When I look at that list, I want to be able to check things off. I want to be able to say, yeah, I did good today, because that's how I rest well. That's how I go, yes, I did well. God gave me this today, and I had this much time, and I had this much, and do I have something to show for it? I sure want the answer to be yes. And so that is that's the number one. Those are the 2 things probably in the last year that I would say have been the biggest game changer for my overall life: reflection, and then putting my phone away. Like, I plug it in the closet. It's hard. I hate it. I had to buy like a $5 alarm clock from Target.
I started that when I joined the 5 a.m. club.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually put mine in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I nowhere near, I have to walk a distance to get to it. I love that. That's so good. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. This was entertaining. I learned so much. I got all the notes over here. This was for me. Okay. They think it was for them, but it was for me. And this was awesome. It was so good to just be in your presence. I miss you guys so much. I miss you.
I know. I miss my friends. It was good to see you. It's always an honor. I never take for granted someone putting me in front of their team and saying, you guys, listen to this girl. So I hope you know, like, that truly just means the world to me. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. Can I pray for y'all real fast?
Go ask. Come on.
Let's do it. All right. God, thank you so much for who you are, for the way that you love us, for your grace that is unending, that has no depth. God, you just are so good to us, and we love you so much. And God, I pray that as we go out every single day in this business, that we would look for those opportunities, that we would be open-minded to new things that are out in front of us. You talk so much in the Bible about leaving the old and moving toward the new. And God, I hope that that as we go out this next week, that we would God, that we would be looking for those new opportunities, that we would be looking for those new ways to create, for those new plans that you might have for us, that we could walk into those, God. And I ask that you just give an extra measure of boldness and of courage for all the ladies that are maybe at the base of the mountain, ready to start the climb. I know it can look scary and it can look daunting, but I just want to ask you to give them that extra courage, that extra boldness, that extra reassurance that you are going to walk with them, God. And for those of us that are still climbing up a mountain, that you would just give us that extra energy and that extra faith to know that you are guiding every single step. And God, for those that are coming down off of one and about to enter a little bit of a season of rest and being able to take a breath, I just pray that you give them just more than they could ask or imagine as it pertains to peace and rest. and just knowing that our worth is in you. But more than anything, God, we just thank you for this incredible opportunity, for the people that it's brought into our lives, for all that you've entrusted us with. And I pray that we just serve you well. Pray that at the end that you say, well done, good and faithful servant. We love you so much. Thank you for who you are, for sending your son to die on the cross. Without him, we're nothing. And it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.